Welcome home. This is Audio EXP, the weekly podcast from Geek Native. I'm your host, Girdy, and we have a very full agenda today. We are looking at a massive licensing collapse that has left thousands of backers out of pocket, along with some incredibly successful new Kickstarters featuring Kaiju and Napoleonic dragons. We also have some fascinating shifts in augmented reality gaming and new research into the psychological benefits of our hobby. Before we get on to the main headlines, I want to take a moment to congratulate Open Sesame Games, who are the winners of the RPG Publisher Spotlight this month. I have been trying to get in touch with them to arrange an interview, so hopefully I will hear back from them this coming week and we can dive deeper into their design philosophy. Also, a quick reminder that our Patreon supporters can currently vote for April's candidates on the Patreon page. Speaking of scheduling, if you are wondering why Routinely Itemized was late out this week, we were struck by a bit of Friday the 13th unluck. Some unexpected logistical problems meant the roundup had to be pushed to a Saturday release, but normal service should resume next week. Our lead story is a stark reminder of the fragility of licensed tabletop products. A massive industry-wide debate regarding corporate oversight has erupted as Geekify claims Neopets stonewalled their development before terminating the tabletop role-playing game. This project was highly anticipated, raising over $427,000 in Kickstarters with the support of over 7,600 backers. However, those backers have been informed that the project is completely dead following the sudden termination of the license agreement by the Neopets team. The licensor released a statement citing concerns over quality, reliability, and customer experience, which followed some community backlash regarding a leaked playtest document that relied heavily on legacy 5e reskinned mechanics. However, Geekify Inc., operating out of Colorado, has painted a different picture. In a lengthy rebuttal, founder John Taylor alleged that they were entirely stonewalled by the brand. Despite drafting over 1,000 pages of material over 3 years of development, Taylor claims that they suffered a total lack of feedback and shifting points of contact with the Neopets team, allegedly failing to review chapters submitted as far back as September. The most devastating part of this collapse is the human cost. Geekify has stated that because a substantial portion of the funds have already been spent on development, asset procurement and royalty payments, they are unable to offer full refunds to backers. The Neopets team has promised an exclusive in-game avatar as a gesture of goodwill, but there is no path forward for the physical rulebook. It's a messy, tragic situation that highlights the severe financial risks developers take on when relying on corporate partners whose priorities might shift overnight. On a much more positive note, in the crowdfunding space, IDW Games has launched a massive campaign that brings Godzilla, the role-playing game, to tabletop, featuring card-based Kaiju battles. This official survival game is set in the publisher's comic-inspired K3 era, decades after Godzilla's first appearance in 1954, where humanity has to constantly adapt to colossal beasts threatening the globe. What makes the game particularly interesting is that it completely ditches traditional math rocks. Instead, the game engine uses a standard deck of 52 playing cards. Players take on the roles of G-Force operatives, ranging from soldiers to mutated scientists, and draw cards to hit specific suits or values to succeed in their high-stakes missions. The cinematic tension is driven by a persistent crisis clock. Drawing Joker cards advances the clock, escalating the danger and drawing the attention of the iconic Toho monsters like Mothra, King Ghidorah and Godzilla himself. The core rulebook even includes a dedicated alternative rule set to allow you to take control of the Kaiju and slug it out on a colossal scale. The campaign has already smashed its funding target, proving there is a massive appetite for this kind of a cinematic card-driven survival experience. Sticking with massive winged creatures but shifting the historical timeline, Magpie Games has launched a phenomenally successful Kickstarter. Temeraire, the role-playing game, brings Napoleonic Dryden riders to the tabletop. Adapting the award-winning alternative history novels by Naomi Navok, the game allows players to join the British Aerial Corps in a world where sentient dragons are fully integrated into the military forces. Magpie Games has developed a brand new mechanical engine for this, called the Edana system, which uses a straightforward d6 dice pool. However, the brilliance of the design lies in with the duties and desires mechanic. British military society acts as a silken cage. Players must balance their strict orders and obligations against their personal passions. Mechanically, invoking a duty guarantees a hit, while invoking a desire allows for massive rerolls. Even better, players are not restricted to playing human officers. A table will collectively build a flight formation, and you can absolutely choose to play as a dragon, selecting your breed, age and education. With over £287,000 already raised, it's clear that fans are eager to take to the skies. Moving from high-flying military campaigns to the quiet heroism of the hearth, tabletop studio Son of Oak has launched Hearts of Ravensdale, showing why cooking is the new combat in their latest release. This is the first major setting book for their breakout role-playing game, Legend in the Mist, leaving behind gritty urban neon of the previous game, City of Mist. Hearts of Ravensdale explores a secluded mountain region known as the Dales. Lead designer Amit Moshe is doubling down on rustic fantasy, a genre that prioritises community, folklore and a deep connection to the land. In a departure from traditional power fantasies, the mechanics treat cooking, mending and crafting as genuinely heroic acts. Players master the old ways, a system of folk magic where brewing and careful herbal tea provides the mechanical leverage needed to face supernatural threats lurking beyond the village fence. Instead of paladins, you play as bone tenders or peddlers. It's a fascinating pivot towards what many are calling cozy dark fantasy, providing a deeply atmospheric experience for both group play or solo adventurers. For the independent designers out there, Drive-Thru RPG has officially launched its 5th annual Game Jam. The storytelling collective joins forces with Drive-Thru RPG for PocketQuest 2026. This year, the challenge task creators face are publishing a complete role-playing game in 25 pages or fewer, centered entirely around the theme of time travel. The deadline is the 27th of April. By partnering with Ashley Warren's Storytelling Collective, an educational powerhouse that has mentored over 15,000 creators, Drive-Thru is positioning this game jam as a professional incubator rather than just a casual community event. However, this iteration introduces some strict new rules. There is a hard line policy against any generative artificial intelligence, and any submission containing AI generated writing or art will be summarily removed. Additionally, to qualify for the dedicated marketing spotlight and a boosted 70% royalty rate during the May launch phase, the digital version of the game must be exclusive to Drive-Thru RPG. It is a fantastic opportunity for aspiring designers to get their feet wet and secure professionally visibility, provided that is they are willing to navigate those exclusive clauses. We often talk about narrative and mechanical aspects of our games, but there is growing academic interest in how these games actually affect us as players. A new piece of academic coverage asks, can Dungeons & Dragons trigger a critical awakening? And the new research says, yes. The latest research highlights that engaging in collaborative storytelling and complex problem solving within the tabletop games, it does more than just entertain us. By navigating moral dilemmas, Embodying different perspectives and working collaboratively to overcome obstacles, players frequently experience a measurable boost in critical thinking and personal growth. It is incredibly validating to see formal research backing up what many of us in the community have known for years. That sitting around the table pretending to be elves and wizards is actually a profound experience in empathy and cognitive flexibility. Shifting gears from the tabletop to the streets, there is a rather ironic structural change happening in the world of augmented reality gaming. The Ada irony has struck Niantic Spatial as it pivots Ingress towards high-stakes real-world intelligence. For those who do not know, Ingress is the long-running location-based game that served as the foundational mapping technology for Pokemon Go. Niantic recently announced that they are pausing access to Operation Portal Recon and permanently retiring the overclock 3D scanning feature. Lead producer Brian Rose confirmed that this is a strategic realignment to focus on the latest generation of spatial technology. A year after selling off the majority of its gaming business but keeping Ingress in-house, it's becoming clear that the game is primarily serving as a geospatial data harvesting engine for the booming real-world artificial intelligence race. The deep irony here, which I guess long-term agents like me will appreciate, is that the original narrative of Ingress revolved around Ada, a fictional artificial intelligence trying to manipulate human minds. Now, reality is mirroring fiction as the game's developers evolve into a pure-play artificial intelligence organisation. Finally, we wrap up this week with 2 spectacular bundle deals to stock your digital shelves. If you're preparing to kick off a new campaign, then the Campaign Starter Bundle from 01 Games might help you map your adventures perfectly. Available on the Bundle of Holding, this collection offers a library of highly customizable interactive PDS maps. With a single click, you can toggle grids, furniture, rune numbers, and doors, giving you incredible flexibility whether you are starting out in a desert oasis built on dragon bones or in a gloomy fishing village. If you want an entire setting to go with those maps, then you must check out Age of Ambition, forward-facing fantasy in a changing world. Also on the Bundle of Holding, this is a offer that presents the complete game line from Tab Creations. It is a setting where traditional medieval fantasy is rapidly evolving into the early modern era. We're talking about printing presses, matchlock firearms, and political upheaval. Using a card-based system instead of dice, spot the theme, players become heroes of social change, acting as investors, inventors, agitators, and civil leaders. You are as likely to conquer enemies with a trade embargo as you are with a sword, making a brilliant system for groups looking for a deep societal level of role-playing. That's it for this week. Thank you for listening to Audio EXP. For the full links and full stories, head over to Geek Native. Until next week, stay geeky.